California Congressman Eric Swalwell serves on the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees and joins me now. Congressman, what do you know? What can you report about this new warning about March 4th?
It aligns, Andrea, with warnings we've seen before the January 6th attack, post-January 6th. And I have to say, it angers me. It angers me that I have colleagues who have stood with some of these groups, who have perpetuated the lies that these groups have told around the election and have done nothing to quell or to condemn these groups. And when that's the case, Elizabeth Newman testified from the formerly from the Homeland Security Committee to the Homeland Security Committee a couple weeks ago, that when groups are not condemned, they feel emboldened. And the fact that I have colleagues that perpetuate this big lie about the election, that inspires these QAnon folks, and it makes them believe that they have a permissive operating environment, and that makes all of us less safe, and it affects our ability to do our job here.
Are you talking specifically about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene? Are you talking about the congressman who keynoted a white supremacist rally in Atlanta this weekend? Matt Gaetz, who are you talking about?
So Congressman Gosar went to a white supremacist event this weekend. Congresswoman Taylor Greene continues to align herself with QAnon conspiracies. There was the insurrection reunion at CPAC this weekend where Senators Cruz and Hawley attended and did nothing to denounce the big lie. And so again, that just emboldens and inspires people who have already been radicalized and want to take arms against their government. And right now, I wish we could see something that happened after September 11th, which was unity. Unity is an antidote against the threat to our country, but right now the threat is within. It's within the United States, and it's within the two bodies of Congress, because legislators have not completely denounced this big lie.
Acting Chief Pittman is saying that there are increased threats to members. What are you hearing from your colleagues, and do you think that some of your colleagues are in danger?
Well, I can tell you personally, get them every day, by phone, by text, by social media. I'm grateful to the Capitol Police and my local law enforcement that seeks to protect me and my family. But what's most frustrating is that distracts from our job. You know, we've got a job here on COVID relief, on voting rights, on reducing the cost of health care. And if you're just constantly worried about your security, it affects your ability to help the people who sent you here. And again, I'm not saying that my colleagues are responsible for the threats coming into us, but I'm saying they are responsible for not calming these individuals, for not denouncing what inspires them the most. And Andrea, if you look at the CPAC conference, the #1 issue when they were polled at that conference this weekend, for a conservative organization, the #1 issue that those attendees cited was election integrity. And that really concerns me, that they believe that our elections are not secure, but they believe that because Donald Trump and Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley and others continue to perpetuate this myth. And that makes all of us less safe, because people feel like they have to take arms against their government because the election was fraudulent.
Did threats against you and in your district and elsewhere increase after you were an impeachment manager most recently?
Yes. Frankly, Andrea, it increased after Donald Trump's state-run, television network, Fox News, showed my home and our street address on TV, which I thought was also unnecessary. But yes, after January 6th, after becoming an impeachment manager, and that's okay. I signed up for this. I know what we got into, but it affects all of our ability to help our constituents when we work in this fortress of a complex now, and we're not as able to engage with people directly at home or here because these threats are just flooding our inboxes. And again, the loser in all of this are our constituents.
And your reaction to what you've heard, I know you've been busy today, but over on the Senate side, the joint hearing today, and the chain of command issues, which may be masking something else, as Jamie Gorelick told me earlier on the show, for why the Pentagon was so slow to respond to the National Guard.
Yeah. Well, Andrea, I believe we now have the best case as to why we need D.C. statehood. Second, there's no reason that General Michael Flynn's brother should have been in that chain of command. He had a conflict of interest. His brother was a part of this big lie. His brother had attended Stop the Steal rallies in the past. And third, as somebody who had their work impeded for hours, to think that over 3 hours we waited in that secure location to return to the Capitol was so unnecessary and could have been signed off immediately. Thank God that the National Guard was able to come. I'm grateful to their service, but it was a failure in leadership across law enforcement and the Department of Defense that day.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, thank you very much. Thanks for all you're doing.
My pleasure. Thank you,
Appreciate
Andrew.
it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.